What's up, y'all? It's Halo's Kitchen, the best kitchen out there. It's Chef A, and as you can see, I am back with another video finally. I'm doing a plant-based Cava bowl. This is actually inspired by the Harissa Bowl. Yeah, y'all, like I really wanted to try out this restaurant, but I couldn't for real because they don't really have vegan options. All I really saw on there was like the tofu. I don't think they have mushrooms for real. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they probably still wouldn't be like seasoned to how I like them for real. But yeah, I don't really consume tofu. I don't like it, like especially when other people make it. So yeah, y'all need to tell Cava to like expand and, you know, put more vegan options. I feel like restaurants in general need to do that. But yeah, y'all, let's get into this tutorial. I decided to use some jackfruit. I like to use the Whole Foods brand because that one is less acidic tasting than the other brands of like the canned jackfruit. And, you know, I always marinate it in a broth just to get that extra, you know, little taste out, like the sour taste or whatever. I had some beef bouillon on that spoon, by the way. That was a vegetarian beef bouillon. Better Than Bouillon is the brand. I also started making some quinoa too. I had mentioned in my shorter video that, you know, I like to replace rice with quinoa instead. It's just like a healthier substitute. So yeah, and right here is my hummus. I added some chickpeas, like 1 can, added like a spoonful of tahini, like a big spoonful, so a spoonful of garlic as well, minced. And I'm also adding some fresh lemon juice, some salt of course, and some olive oil too. I'll have the measurements like in the description or whatever. So yeah, or I'll just have them like on the screen. But yeah, y'all, I used my food processor to blend everything up. I'm sure you can also use the regular blender if you do not have a food processor. My heart was just calling me to use this. So yeah, I made sure to blend it all the way up until it was creamy smooth. And this was actually my first time making hummus from scratch, to be honest. Like, I never was really a huge fan when I would like try other people's until like I tried the one from the last restaurant that I worked at. And I was like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. I've just had some bad brands. But yeah, y'all, I decided to use this Harissa seasoning from Whole Foods that I had gotten. And, you know, I added that to the boiled jackfruit or whatever from earlier. And I also added some garlic and onion powder. And then I, you know, just, you know, use my hands. You can also use a spoon if you aren't really a hands-on type of person. But yeah, you don't really need much seasoning since it already like soaked for real. The Harissa blend doesn't really have much salt in my opinion. So it won't be, you know, overpowering or overly salty if you add that and you already like had the salt or whatever in the bouillon, in the broth that you boiled the jackfruit in. So don't worry about that. And I decided to char up the jackfruit in a cast iron skillet. You can also use the other type of skillet. What is it called? The silver one. My brain is a little fried right now. Yeah. Oh, it's the stainless steel one. Now I remember. But yeah, y'all, until, you know, that stuff is like charred up good enough. I also ended up putting it in the broiler for the extra char. But while that was cooking, I decided to start making the cucumber tomato salad. Of course, you can have this prepped in advance. That would make more sense. But yeah, I just added some tomatoes. I just used like Roma tomatoes, but if you aren't really with those and you want the more organic original tomatoes, of course you can use the cherry or grape ones. I forgot which ones were like original, but yeah, you can use those. And then I have some cucumber. If you prefer to leave on the skin, you can do that. I mostly prefer to remove the skin. I heard it contains, you know, the wax or whatever, and that it was just harder for the body to like digest. Like, don't take my word for it 100%. Like, always, of course, do your own research. But yeah, that's just what I've heard and, you know, what I feel like, you know, could be true. So yeah, I just cut my cucumbers up like that into like that size. You can cut them up a little bit smaller, whatever you prefer, whatever your heart tells you. And I put it in a mixing bowl. I added a little bit of some cilantro. Honestly, I wish I would have added more. And a little bit of parsley too. And then I added some Celtic sea salt, added some oregano as well. I don't know why, but like looking at this video, I kind of want to add some black pepper too, just because. But yes, y'all, you just want to like stir this up or whatever. If I'm missing something, definitely let me know because this was my first time making this type of salad. So yeah, let me know in the comments. And right here, I just, you know, tried to mimic their garlic dressing. That's what they call it, not the garlic sauce. That's what I had called it in my YouTube video. Not my YouTube video, but my Instagram video. But this is just some cocoa June yogurt that I use. coconut yogurt, by the way. It's what it is, dairy free, of course. And I added some of the Harissa seasonings, some minced garlic and whatnot, and everything else listed on the screen. And then I just set that aside till I was ready. And right here is my quinoa. That was a good batch right there. Like, I like the way that cooked. But I didn't add much seasoning to my quinoa, like maybe just a little bit of salt, but that's really it because everything else is gonna have so much flavor. But in this bowl right here, I have some mixed greens. It's not actually called that, I just call it that because it sounds nice. But I just mixed some romaine lettuce. I chopped it up myself, and I also have some organic green kale as well. Anything, I do prefer to use organic, even though, you know, some stuff still be sketchy. But yeah, as you can see, my jackfruit right there is like charred to perfection, so try your best to like get it to look like that. Again, I did put it in the broiler just for a couple of minutes, and every, you know, oven and stove is different, so definitely just keep an eye out for it and let your intuition guide you when it comes to like making this, and just knowing when stuff is ready, you know, when you're putting like enough or like too much seasoning or whatever. If you are someone that struggles with the seasoning part, I would definitely recommend, you know, stick with the mindset of you can always add more, but it's really hard to like take away unless it's like a soup or something where you can add more water. It's hard to take away too much salt, so start with a little at a time and just taste as you go. So yeah, y'all, I added some red onion. Honestly, I wish I would have gotten some like pickled ones, or, you know, I just had made them myself or whatever, but I didn't really have time for that, unfortunately. But those were still good, you know, just the raw ones. I also added like half a diced avocado, added the cucumber tomato salad, of course, added the quinoa, you know, after the mixed greens part, and, you know, the hummus, and then the garlic sauce as well. And then I just garnished it with some cute little lemon slices, and then I believe I also just topped it off with some cilantro, like fresh, just for the aesthetic. And y'all, like, this was really, really good. Like, oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh. I don't even know if, you know, if Cava were to put vegan options on their menu, if it would taste like this. Like, things do tend to taste better at home, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, because you know what you're putting into it, you know the love and intention that's going into it too, versus, you know, going to a restaurant and, you know, having the possibility of someone that doesn't really like their job making your food. So yeah, let me know if you guys try this out. If you guys are interested in any more of my recipes, I just released my new ebook. It's called Catching Flights, Not Feelings. I actually do have a message in there to explain this concept. It's not really about closing off your heart or anything, but yeah, I thought that the catchphrase tied in perfectly with making all the vegan flights and everything. That one is actually on sale too. It's still a 1-week sale going on. Right here is my Raw and Radiant ebook for anybody that is more interested in raw foods or is just looking to add more into their diet, or that's, you know, completely 100% raw but want something different. That's out too. And then I have my Loving Vegan Food book. This is my original that I first dropped this year in June, and yeah, y'all, like, it got over 60 recipes, and, you know, it is geared towards people that are vegan or vegans, but it's also good for anybody else that's been vegan but they just want to try something new. They want to try some Chef A recipes or whatever, try something a little different. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to sharing more with you guys, sharing more of my authenticity too, so you can get a better taste of like who I actually am outside of just cooking tutorials. Be blessed, be safe, and remember to protect your energy and protect your energy. Peace, and subscribe and stay tuned for more.